last night I was sitting there, and like all of you guys, I was trying to find as much content as I could. I was watching Sky Sports, I was reading The Echo, I was on The Athletic, I was doing everything that I do on a match day normally when I'm finished. And still, there's a lot of... like for instance, I every night at about usually 10:30, but these days it's later because I'm working late. I always watch the Sky Back Pages show on Sky Sports News. Always watch it. It's one of my favourite things in the evening. And the journalists on there, there's still a huge feeling that Liverpool are really good and all this, but a lot of people feel like City are still going to stroll to the title. And look, we're Liverpool fans, so of course we have our own viewpoints, but I do feel like maybe the club are going to have to start getting a little bit more respect in this title race from the media, because granted, City are formidable, but I would dare to say in this current form, with the players coming back from injury, with the last dance vibe for Jurgen, with Anfield rocking as it was last night, I think we're going to take a bit of stopping as well. Now look, I love people writing off Liverpool. I'm happy for us to be underdogs in some people's minds, but not in mine. Not if we can keep playing the way we are. There will be points dropped. I don't think Manchester City are going to go through the second half of this season perfect. Nor do I think we'll go through the second half of the season perfect. There will be points dropped. But last night was a potential banana skin, right? And we went out there and wiped the floor with Chelsea. That's like... To read that some people feel like Chelsea were robbed. Look, I understand you think maybe one penalty decision or whatever. Fair enough. But that was men against boys stuff last night. That could have been 8-9-1 and it wouldn't have flattered us. Darwin should have had a hat-trick. We were better in every department. We wanted it more. The energy levels were higher. They understood the system more. We were just a much better side. You know, if you were to say one of these two sides spent £1 billion over the last year, you would assume it was Liverpool, because we were just streets ahead. And also, I want to give credit again to Paul Tierney last night. I honestly think he had an exceptionally good game. I know we all think, oh, maybe now he feels like, right, job done. We've got rid of Klopp out of the league. But have to say, of any refereeing performance from a Liverpool game this season, that was right up there for me with top-notch refereeing. You know, I'm not a hater. I say these things as I see them, and I think Tierney was great last night. I think he wasn't falling for some of the weak attempts at buying fouls that we've seen from those Chelsea players. I mean, they should be ashamed of themselves, first and foremost. Look, I know there was a couple of incidents people believe could have been a penalty. No problem with people thinking that. But some of them, like the Chilwell one, or some of the others, were just blatant attempts at cheating. And it just leans into the fact that they're just weak, that Chelsea team. Weak mentality, no belief, no leadership. And it doesn't start from the bench either. This, to me, if Pochettino gets the boot from Chelsea, I don't see how anybody rates him as a top coach anymore. And I include myself, somebody who's always been pretty pro Pochettino. But if he comes in here, fails again at this job, after all the other ones in recent times, I mean, gotta say, it's you wouldn't expect him to get another big English job anytime soon anyway. A week ago, Chelsea fans were saying Palmer is better than Curtis Jones, said Queen Nadra. Yeah, they said a lot of stuff, like the Anfield atmosphere is a myth. How'd that work out, lads? Do you know what they didn't say though, Queen Nadra? And, you know, we got to talk about this. They didn't talk about leaving the gaff early with their tail between their legs, scuttering out through the exit doors, while Liverpool's and Anfield's in full voice, and their players were being bitch slapped all around the pitch. Yeah, that was my favourite. Just seeing them all just toddle off to the exits, with their hopes and dreams smashed up again after being taught a lesson. That was one of my favourite moments yesterday. Just the arrogance. Because they are arrogant. They are always fucking arrogant, those Chelsea fans, when they come to town. They are. I've been to a couple of Liverpool-Chelsea games. I've seen it firsthand. The arrogance, the belittlement of the area, all this other crap. How'd that work out? Did waving all those fivers and tenors around over the years, was it worthwhile last night? When you were pissing off early because your team was just manhandled by a better side. How did that work out? Should Chelsea have had 2 pens? Not for me, Robbie. Honestly, mate, no. The 2 incidents I think you're talking about, the Gallagher one, which for me is the most, of any of those decisions yesterday, for me, if you're given one, it's probably that one. Even at that, I feel like he was looking to go to ground. If you just look at his body language when he was moving towards Van Dijk, it felt to me like he was going low already. So that's like the other one. The Nkunku one really pissed me off. I've got to be honest with you. The fact that I hear anybody talking about that as a penalty, it baffles me for a couple of reasons. It's not like the back of his leg was kicked. It's not like he was knocked off balance. Virgil van Dijk was getting touch tied to him. His thigh hit off the back of Nkunku and he went to ground like he was shot. That's not a penalty for me. If that's a penalty, then every single corner is going to involve the defending team giving away a penalty. Because far more contact happens in the penalty area when people are jostling for position. It's just... And I think context is needed as well. Because that was a tactic. They tried to cheat their way to get penalty kicks yesterday. Look at Chilwell. It was a tactic from the off. And it's the only way they felt they could compete was to try and buy something. So no, I don't have any sympathy on the penalty incidents. The first one is the closest for me. After that, the Nkunku one, never in a million years. If that's given as a penalty, we might as well all give up. Because if that's the level of contact required, sorry, not for me. But look, I'm sure others will disagree and that's okay. But ultimately the decision last night was that no penalty in both decisions. Both looked at. Ref not asked to go to the monitor. And then look at our penalty. Jota's foot was clearly stood on. Don't think anybody can argue about that. Look, that's my honest take on it. But as I said, it's about opinion. Chelsea players were diving like seals. It was embarrassing. It really was embarrassing. And it was consistent. Right through. And I don't watch Chelsea week in and week out. So I've got no idea if that's what Chelsea do. It just felt like that was their only chance last night to try and feign their way into getting a penalty or an opportunity. But I don't care if they got both penalties. I still think we batter them. Even if they got the first one, I still think we go on and score more. We've had Darwin hit the bar 4 times yesterday. At least 2 of them could have gone in. So, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. With the better team won, the better team would have won. And if they want to make themselves feel a little bit better and crying about not getting a penalty, so be it. They should be more concerned about the style of play, the lack of fight, the manager being clueless. Yeah, that would be my concern if I was their fans. But it's always, people always want an easy out. People want to feel cheated. People want to just scream about, and look, I do it as well, by the way. So, but I don't care. For once, I just don't care.